First of all, I want to thank Jacques-Luc for her video today. And thank you, Jacques-Luc for articulating it so well. There comes a point when you have to take a stand on certain issues. And some of us are not afraid to do so. And you do it in a very conciliatory way. Not trashing anyone, not hating anyone, and not promoting intolerance overall. In fact, quite the opposite. So, we are one, sister, because I'm totally for this kind of an approach. Now, you are, and neither am I, a partisan hack. Completely devoted to one party or another. In fact, party politics is pretty much a joke in this country. It has culminated to the point of basically a game. This nation has moved so far to the right wing per se that the left wing or anyone perceived as left-wing, for that matter, like Code Pink, doesn't even get a word in edgewise. And this, of course, needs some pointing out, but it's, I can't do this in a 10-minute video on here. Now, as far as Obama goes, there is a difference between criticizing policy and demonizing someone. And I will criticize any politician, left or right, when I see things going wrong. And right now, with the Obama administration, I see things going in the wrong direction. I've stated this a few times before in my other videos, namely my disagreement with his economic advisory team, all of whom come from Wall Street. His seemingly non-critical stance towards the Israeli lobby in this country, and his overall middle-of-the-road kind of rhetoric, which is now very much present, unlike during his campaign. And so the change that was promised is, of course, not going to happen, as hopefully some of my very dear Democrat friends now are beginning to realize. There are differences between the parties, of course, and this whole theater of saying, okay, well, let's just all be bipartisan and let's all come together is, in my opinion, a sham to begin with. Because if you don't have opposing viewpoints in a democracy, then you're basically flatlined to begin with. So yes, there should be partisan policies and partisan stances in all of that. Because if you don't have opposing viewpoints, then why even have elections? Let's just, the whole thing can just run on its own, And that's basically what's happening now. I think people are frustrated and confused, and that's why some of the constant fearmongers, like, I don't even want to mention Fox News. I mean, that's just a given. But, people who actually tend to have some capability of thinking critically at times, like, Alex Jones or people like that, they're basically using this entire atmosphere just to capitalize on their own small knowledge of world history, and then these very same people ratchet up the fear without taking a stance. You know, they lump everything together. So we should basically fear big government and everyone around us, basically. And there's no deep knowledge of cultural or world history or precedents there. It's all lumped together as if it all came out of the same mold. And you know, I hate to tell you this, but that's not the case. There are, at least in the 20th century and way before that, movements, philosophical movements and political movements, which were of very different origins. And they cannot be all lumped together into the NWO, the CFR, the Rothschilds, you know, whatever you want to name it now, the New World Order. Even within the elites, there is, believe it or not, some competition. And no, we're definitely not part of that elite. So, but you know, this is nothing new. The contradictions, and I did watch the movie over the weekend, Alex Jones's movie, The Obama Deception. Let me just tell you something. It's probably people should watch this movie simply because it contains truth, but it also contains a lot of falsehoods. Right from about the first third on. And the contradictions within this movie alone are, you know, there are too many to state here in a 10-minute video on YouTube. But let's just say that if Alex Jones is ranting and raving about corporations, for one thing, you know, the global elite and all these corporations, and then at the same time says that, you know, universal single-payer healthcare is a communist plot, when the very corporations that he's ranting and raving against in his movie are basically vehemently opposed to this. Let's just say you have to take it with a grain of salt, and more than just one grain of salt. I'm going to make another video tonight regarding Obama's stance on this whole torture issue, and I will take a stance on that, just as you did, Jacques-Luc, and I have my limits, and this is one of them. And as a human being, I have to draw my lines someplace, and this is one of them. So hopefully I'll have time to record that video tonight. It's going to be pretty serious, so thanks for your input, Jacques-Luc. I appreciate it, and I hope your video gets lots of views. Good night.